Okay guys, welcome back. We're starting a new series here on the channel. It's gonna be 2-minute reviews, and I just think that I got sick of doing longer videos, and I think also if you guys are in a rush and stuff like that, sometimes you just want to see the general overview of a product to see if you like it or not, and that's really all you need. So I'll be doing products I've had for a long time that I really like, and then sometimes it'll be just stuff, like new stuff that I get into the collection that I just want to show off and show to you guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first one here is going to be for the Boulevard collection from Wolverine, the somewhat highly anticipated collection for obvious reasons, which we'll get to at the end. But first, let's just go over the basic details of the boot. So the leather it feels really nice. I got the dark brown plain toe version, and it feels, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I wrote a Reddit review. I'll actually link that in the description. I don't get too ahead of myself with the Chrome Excel comparisons, obviously, but it feels really nice. It's very soft out of the box, which sometimes could be a sign that's cheap, right? But for me, it feels sturdy. There's not a lot of loose grain, which I really like. So the leather for me was right off the box. I was impressed with it, or at least it checks the box there for me. Now the lining of the boot is something that I really wanted to point out because I love that they were using, instead of, honestly, I don't know what other similar wink boots are using, but this one uses sheepskin lining. And so what I really like about that is that it's very grippy on the inside. And so to me, the heel cup, which is a super important point about boots, is that you don't want to be slipping in the heel, is that it does hold my foot in really well in place. So I really like that. Now, some people are sticklers for the stitching on the boot to make sure that there's no loose stitching. To me, honestly, I'm not so, strict on that. To me, there's no loose threads anywhere, so I think they look good. Getting to the sole and the insole. So the sole on the bottom is a rubber. It's obviously Goodyear welted on, which means, right, it's totally resolable and recraftable. And it feels like it's not a super stiff, hard rubber. It does feel kind of soft. But it's got a nice lug on the bottom to it, so I think it'll be great, honestly, for what they are, which is, to me, it's more of a fashion boot. I think they'll be great, basically, on concrete and stuff like that. So if you take a look at the insole, it's a foam that's covered in that same sheepskin lining. So I like it. It feels really soft on the front. They have a little bit of a padding by the arch, which is nice to see, and it definitely feels like a high-quality insole, which, for me, I like the cork insoles that I have in my Red Wings. So I was a little nervous to see how they felt, but honestly, it feels pretty firm, which I really do like. And again, there's not a lot of slipping when my foot's inside, which I think is a really important point. Someone actually pointed out on Reddit also that they thought the laces looked really good, and I thought that was a very funny point because I generally don't really notice the laces. And so they're not waxed, but it's a very kind of dense cotton lace. And they're round, which I think is important because sometimes when brands use flat laces, they tend to rip if they get caught on an eyelid or caught on something. And so these do feel very sturdy and they tie very well. And so the overall fit of the boot in general, I was very, very happy with it because I'm telling you, with some other boots, the last that they use, the shape of the boot a lot of times is not so, I call it inspired, in air quotes. And to me, it has a really nice contour. It's not too thin, it's not too wide. The collar of the boot, which is always, for me, a really, really, really important point when it comes to fit, it's not too wide, so it doesn't come to a complete close. It adjusts to the width of my leg, to my ankle, to my foot. So I think that I was really impressed, and even after wearing them all day, I was very impressed with the fit of the boot. All right, so I've been hinting to it. Obviously, the Boulevard collection is a direct response to Thursday. They're even made, probably in the same factory, but they're both made in Mexico, and they're both $200. So I'm going to do a full review, so stay tuned, guys. I'm going to do a full comparison between these Boulevard ones and the Thursday boots, so stay tuned for that. But as a general value, I think they really executed well. That's what I was using before. They executed really well on these, and for me, the biggest factor is that they fit really well. So I don't think they have to last forever at a $200 price point, but I do really like them. I thought the fit was good, and I think they look great. All right, guys, so subscribe if you want to see more of these. I'm going to try to do them once a week. Let me know what you think of the Boulevard collection in the comments below, and I will see you guys later.